Hello and welcome to my stamp studio. Sorry, I just need to adjust my camera just a little bit here. And I am live today here on YouTube to share a So Refreshing Fun Fold with you. So let me move this out of the way and I'll bring in the card that we're going to be making. And this is featuring one of our retiring sets from Stampin' Up. It's called So Refreshing, and it has a set of coordinating dies, which are really fun to make all sorts of cards. So today we're going to make this quick fun fold. I'm going to share with you how you do it. Now you can use the dies, or you can simply use your scissors. It doesn't matter. So for the video today, I'm actually going to pull out my dies and we'll get started with that. So we're going to do our stamping first. And sorry, I didn't have my little die cut machine with me here. Okay, so we're going to do our stamping first. I'm going to go over the measurements for this card. So I do have it right here for us. So I have a piece of thick basic white, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I have a piece of bubble bath cardstock, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. I have a second piece of bubble bath cardstock, which measures 5 inches by 3 inches. We're going to score this at 4 3/4. I have 2 pieces of basic white. They're 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I have a designer series paper that is 2 inches by 4 1/8. If you're using directional paper, just make sure that you're using it in the direction that you want. So the 4 1/8 is the long way. And then I have a small piece of designer series paper, which is 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4 inch. All right, we're going to start with our stamping first. Let me just get out my little stamping mat, which I don't remember where I put. I had it out earlier. There we go. All right, I'm using this because it's a photopolymer stamp set, and it tends to need a little bit of a cushion in the background. Sorry, my hair kind of got on the page there. All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the stamps that we'll be using. And I'm going to just open this real quick, and I'm going to be using my limes right here. There's a little set of double limes, so I'm going to put that on a block. And then I'm going to be using another set of limes, so we'll get that on another block. So one is the detailed image and one is the background image. We're also going to be using the picture, so let's get that on a block. And then the inside of the picture. So we'll get that on another block. All right. Then the last two pieces we have are our glasses. And so on this one, I'm going to put the outline of the glass. And this one, I will put the inside of the glass. All right, I think I've got all the pieces that I need for stamping except for my sentiment. And the sentiment that we're going to be using is time spent together is the sweetest. So we're making a little bit of a limeade today. So let's get this put right on here. All right. So I'm going to first start with my garden green. I'll be using garden green and lemon lime twist. So for my garden green here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Actually, before I stamp that, I need to put my piece of designer series paper right here because I want to stamp that image right even with that bottom. All right, so I'm just going to actually set it here for a moment, and then we'll stamp this. Just looking through here, I'm going to move my designer series paper out of the way. There we go. All right, now I can go ahead and adhere this down. So I'm going to take my seal here and just put a little bit of adhesive on my strip. Again, if you have directional paper, just make sure that you have it in the right direction. All right. The next thing I'm going to do for this one, well, I might as well stamp all my garden green first. We're going to stamp on our scrap here the glass, and this is again the image, the outer image of it. So I'm going to stamp 2 glasses. I am then going to stamp my outside or my detail image for my limes. So I'm going to stamp that right over here, just like that. All right. Next thing I'm going to stamp is going to be my sentiment. So we'll get that all inked up, and we're going to put it up on the top, and it'll cover the picture just a little bit, but that's okay. All right, let's close this one up so that we can get out our other color. So I'm going to pull in our lemon lime twist now, and we're going to take the filler for our glass. I'm going to look right through the stamp here and stamp right inside that glass. Just like that. I'll take the inside of my limes now and also look through that stamped image, my stamp there, and just stamp my limes. All right, the last piece I have to stamp is the liquid inside my pitcher. So go ahead and, again, just look through, line it up, and stamp. Okay, there we go. So got all of our stamping done. We'll go ahead and die cut all of our images out, and then we'll get to assembling our card. So I'm going to pull in my little mini machine here. And my directions and measurements will all be available on my website just a little bit later this morning, so that you can head over there and get all the details to make your own fun fold. So I've got my little die cutting machine, and I'm going to put those pieces in here. So grab. I might not be able to cut both glasses at the same time if I did them too close, which I think I did. Yeah, we'll just have to die cut that one after. All right, then I'm going to line up my limes here. Now, a trick to keeping your dies in place is to use a little piece of washi tape, or what I like to use is my Post-it note tape. I get this right from Amazon. And so I'm going to hold this one and just get that one. All right. So I'll run this through real quick. And then we'll run that second one through. There's my limes. Get this one cut through. Let's get my little Post-it note tape over here, so I can hold that right in place. Get this out of the way. So I've got my one image, my second image. All right. Let's move all those stamps out of the way so I don't get them on anything. We'll bring in all the other moving parts of our card here. We're done stamping, so we can move our mat out of the way. All right. First step that we're going to do is we're going to adhere our bubble bath right to our card base. Now, the reason that this is going to not be a normal opening card is because we're flipping the card here. So it's really just 1/4 of a piece of cardstock. It's not a opening card in the back. So let's go ahead and just put our adhesive on there. I like to make sure that I have enough adhesive because we're going to be flipping up that front of the card, and you want to make sure that your card stays together. So I'll go ahead and, it's a very thin mat here. So I'm just centering that. And actually, before I did that, I forgot one step. Let me pull this apart. Oh, the fun of going live. All right. What I need to actually do is take my bubble bath that is 5 inches by 3 inches, and I need to score this at 4 3/4. So I'll just bring in my trimmer to do that really quick. My trimmer has a scoring blade on it. So I'm just going to slide this up to 4 3/4, and I will just use my scoring tool. Now, if your paper is a little bit longer than 5 inches, that's fine. Just make sure that you score it at 4 3/4. Because what we'll do here, we're going to actually line this up right here, just like that. We'll put some more adhesive on here. And since I peeled that off my card, I want to add a little bit more. All right. Now I can center that piece on there. All right, so there we go. Give it a nice press. All right, now for the inside of our card, I did forget one little bit of stamping. We need to just add a little lime on there. So this is going to be for the inside. I'm going to go ahead and bring back in my 2 stamp pads here. So I'm just going to stamp my limes right at the bottom. Just like that. We'll get my little filler. Now I chose the garden green and the lemon lime twist for the fact that the garden green is in my designer series paper. Now you can make this lemonade or iced tea, whatever kind of paper you're using. Just coordinate your colors. All right, so that's our inside. Now what we'll do for our inside is I'm just going to lay it here. I want to see where this is going. So I want this to be hidden. So I'm actually going to just slide this right up to the top of my layer here. All right, and then I'll adhere that down. So I'm not going to that fold, I'm going to the layer. All right, just kind of centering that. There we go. Now when I close this, that's going to be hidden, and that's what I want. I'm going to bring in my bone folder here just to give this a really good, crisp score. All right, now I can take my other 2 3/4 by 4 1/8 and put that right on the front. And I goofed again. All right, well, we'll make do. I got so excited about this, I forgot I want to put my designer series paper right here. So what I need to do is just lift this up. Now, if you have dental floss or if you haven't pressed down really hard, you can easily lift that up. All right. So I should have put my designer series paper on first. I did not. So when you're doing it, put yours on first. All right. So I'm just going to make that even with the bottom and the sides. Now I can press that back down. All right, so let's get going back to the front of our card. I am going to go ahead and wrap my ribbon around now. And the ribbon that I'm using is going to be my Ribbon Dual Combo Pack. It's got Petal Pink and Lemon Lime Twist. So we're going to be using that lemon lime here. And I am just going to put a bow right on here. Hopefully I'm not bow challenged. Sometimes that happens. You know, you do a live and you get like butterfingers. It happens. All right, let's go ahead and tie our bow. Now, here's a little trick to tying bows. If you kind of have butterfingers for the day, go ahead and take your reverse tweezers and just squeeze that and just hold that knot in place, right? It's like having an extra set of hands. All right, we'll go ahead and tie our bow now. Maybe we'll tie our bow. Okay, there we go. All right, so now my bow is kind of big there. I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to pull my tweezers out, give it a nice tug, and I'm going to slide that down where I want it to be. All right, we'll take a nice sharp snips and just trim it. And have it go for that. Now, if you wanted to make sure your card stays closed, you can actually slide your ribbon up over the top. So you can slide it in just like that. All right, and then they just have to slide that down to open it up. Let's get our glasses on here. So we're going to use some mini dimensionals on our glasses and our little lime there. I just need to get my mini dimensionals. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get this out of the way. All right, and we'll take our lime here, peel off our backings. All right, so let's put our limes on first. And I'm just going to set them right down here. And we'll take one glass and we'll put it right here. And then we'll take our second glass and put it right here. All right, so that is our fun fold. I hope you like this quick little card. Again, I'll bring back in the measurements really quick so you can see those. And here we go. Again, you can hop over to my website, www.mystampstudio.com, and I will have a picture of this and the measurements all posted for you. So thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.